Welcome back to the garage. Today, it's a 2013 Ford Taurus. I'm going to be replacing the rear wheel bearing. So, first step, we need to remove the wheel. So here's the list of the tools that you need to do this job. You don't have to have this. It's a 3/8 impact, but it helps. 3/8 drive ratchet, screwdriver, 19 millimeter socket, 18 millimeter socket, 13 deep well 15, 15 millimeter shallow socket, T40 Torx, 2 extensions, 18 millimeter wrench. I used this just for the puller here, which ended up being the puller. 2 hammers. You got to beat on some stuff. Mainly this. This is a wheel bearing puller. It didn't work, even though I beat it to death. I tried the slide hammer also. You'll see in the video. This is what I ended up getting the wheel bearing out with, and I'll show that to you. And a screwdriver. So that's about it. Yeah, some good tips in this video. Okay, the next step, wheels off. There's 2 bolts that hold the entire brake assembly, the caliper assembly on. There is 1 bolt right there. And if you look from underneath, there's 1 right there, 15 millimeter. Go ahead and take both of those out. Okay, caliper's off, and I hung it by a zip tie just to take the stress off of, just so it doesn't hang. This needs to come out. It's a T40 Torx. Now listen to this. I hope you can hear it. It's real loud. It shouldn't sound like that. It shouldn't sound like there's a grinding. So that's definitely my problem. I'm going to go ahead and take that the rest of the way out and take the rotor off. The rotor, or the disc, was seized on there, so I took a 2-pound sledge, was tapped in each spot around it, and it broke loose. Okay, the disc is off, and then right back here there are 1, 2, 3, and let me bring in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have a slide hammer that I may use to try to pull that off of there. Sometimes they'll just come out. I'll set you up and you can see what it takes. Okay, now this is where the special tool comes in. They sell these on the internet. I had this one made by a friend of mine because I tried my slide hammer because this didn't fit exactly on this. It was made for an older Ford Taurus, but the slide hammer did not work. I beat the snot out of it. So this is the hardest wheel bearing I've ever dealt with. I have this special tool that's made for this. I have beat the snot out of it. I mean, you can see all the hits with the sledgehammer. I had it on there. Couldn't do anything. I went to I started cutting it apart, hoping to take this middle out. None of that would work. And then I came up with this idea to use a bolt as a spreader. So this is just a normal bolt, and basically, and this has started to work. That's why I'm showing you, because so I had to cut the studs out, but it started to move this side. You just let me show you. Crescent wrench and an impact, holding this nut with the crescent wrench. You can see that it's moving. I'm going to do the same on the other side. This is the best idea I've had. I've messed with this for hours and hours and hours, and I couldn't get it. And now it's moving. So just simple. you know, cut one of those out and use a bolt if you can't get it moving. And that'll pull it close, and then just tap it, and it ends up pulling it right out. Okay, now I'm going to clean that up with a wire wheel and put anti-seize on it, and then we'll be ready for the reinstallation. I'm ready for the installation of this. I went around this with a wire brush, and I went around this. You know, yours is probably brand new, so you don't need to go around this. But I applied anti-seize on both surfaces and in the holes. So I'm going to reinstall this 18 millimeter 4 bolts. If I have to do this again at some point, I don't want to struggle with it. I'm going to put a small amount of anti-seize on this too. I took this bracket off of the caliper because it was starting these free floating. These are supposed to free float. One was starting to get tight, so I cleaned them up. I re-lubed them. Now I'm going to install this and then install the brakes, the caliper separately. This is just the bracket that holds it all together. Now I'm going to load the brakes into the caliper mounting bracket. And then place the caliper onto the brakes. Okay. Now, tire goes back on, and that's done. Thanks for watching. Hope this video helps you. If it does, please subscribe to my channel because that helps me out, and I appreciate it.